right, you are looking live at Benji's dad. What is going on, everyone? It's good to see you. Good to be here. Anybody got any questions for me? We will be talking about how you can make money online by blogging. There's a secret sauce that I've been using that I wish I had started using when I first got into this. And what I did, I'm going to hold off actually and wait until we get a couple of minutes into this to give some people some time to get on, if anyone shows. But you know what? We got one person watching. Gonna do it just for you. So how are you doing? This unnamed person. Yo, I look totally crazy when I drink coffee. Hi, Rose. Rose Whoosh. It's a great name. All right, so we are here looking live. So anyway, well, I guess we'll get into it a little bit. Actually, got a couple more people here. Oh, thanks, Rose. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh, you know, I'm a little dark. Hold on a sec. All right. See if this helps a little bit. All right, that might help a little bit. But no, definitely, Rose. I do appreciate you being here. You know, I'm still kind of new, kind of green at these live webcasts or the YouTube live. So it is nice to have you here. You know, even if you spend 5 minutes, you know, I do appreciate you being here. So what we'll talk about now is a secret sauce that I've used to be able to make money online. And it's a little thing that's called split testing. So you may have heard of it before, you may not have. If you haven't, I'm gonna give you a quick little example as to what it means. So when you split test something, or another way to say it is called A/B testing. The technical explanation of it is you are testing against traffic which page or landing page converts the best. So to a lot of you, I know that probably seemed like a lot of foreign language just now, what I just said, but I'm going to try to break it down in a way that'll make it nice and simple. So let's just imagine we are at a bar or maybe a club or something. We're trying to meet some people. And, you know, we want to enjoy ourselves. And let's just say, you know, guys, you're wearing a yellow shirt, you know, and you walk in, you did everything right, you know, breath is smelling all good and all that kind of stuff. Ladies, you got the dress, the nice yellow dress on, you know, you're looking great. So then you get there and you know what? No one talks to you that night. And it's a little depressing. You're like, whoa, what is up with this? No one wants to talk to me tonight. And you're there the whole night and not one person approach you, and maybe everyone you talk to immediately turns you away. It's a little depressing. So you go home and you're like, you know what? You're going to rethink this. I'm going to wear my red shirt tonight, or my red blouse or red dress, or whatever it is. And like, okay, let's go ahead and wear this red dress. And then you go out into the scene, the bar, the club, wherever it is that you decide to go. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so you decide not to you decide to go out in your red dress, and that night everybody talks to you. You're having a good time. You're talking to a lot of people. A lot of people approach you. You maybe get a few phone numbers. And you're like, it was just a good, successful night. Everything is just great, you know? So then you go out that third night. But this time you wear a green dress, or you wear a green button-down shirt, and you're wearing this green shirt, and maybe not as many people as the night before talk to you, but quite a few do. A decent amount of people do, but it's not as much as the last night, but it was not as little as the night that you wore the yellow shirt. So, okay, so you got to calm down. Obviously, you've been to the bar, you've been to the club 3 nights in a row. It's kind of crazy. So you kind of take a week off. Now, honest question: when you go back to that bar or to that club or wherever the next week, what color shirt are you going to wear, or what color dress are you going to wear? You'd be crazy not to wear the red dress or the red button-down shirt if you're a guy. And the reason for this is because the red shirt got you more people. It actually helped you interact with more people. That's what a red dress does, or that's what a red button-down did for you. That, in a nutshell, is what split testing a landing page does. You then wear, or you have a certain landing page and you put it out on the internet and you send people to it, or you send traffic to it. And if people convert, or they become buyers, or maybe they click on a link that you want them to, or maybe they give you your email address or something like that, whatever it is you want them to do, they do it when they land on that landing page. Then you're going to keep using that landing page. But what if someone doesn't do what you want them to do, and maybe nobody does it? You're not going to use that landing page anymore. Or maybe one has a little bit of middle success. Then you're going to definitely maybe use that one, but maybe not as much as the red landing page. And that's kind of what split testing is in a nutshell. You are trying to see what happens when people see a page, and the ones that convert the most, or the ones that turn the most people into customers, are the ones you're going to use most often. An example of that would be any type of landing page where people are trying to collect email addresses or something like that. Maybe you might put an arrow that points to the box to put your email address on. So you might have one page that has the arrow and one page that doesn't have the arrow. And then you're going to see which one converts the best. If the one that has the arrow converts better, then there's no point in using the one without the arrow anymore. And this is what's called split testing. When you think about it, there's an old saying that says always be closing. There's an old Alec Baldwin's famous line from the movie, always be closing. But there's another thing that's called always be testing. And that's one thing you should always do when it comes to your testing sites. If you do that, you can maximize the amount of money that you're making from your website. And you won't be missing out on sales just because your page is not optimized. So it's good to remember that an optimized page is not one that is created. It's more discovered through testing. So that's what the secret sauce for making money online is, knowing how to split test your landing pages. Can you use it for a niche site? You definitely can, Rose, because typically you're going to have a certain kind of website. You're going to have blogs, and on your blog, that's what's drawing people to your website. Now, in that blog, what you want to do is then link people to suggested items that they will be interested in purchasing based on what they're reading. So can you actually think of something that you enjoy, Rose? What is something that you think you could start a site on? Like, what are you interested in? Like, it doesn't really matter, it can really be anything, because you can really monetize anything as long as you are creative enough with it. All right, well, let's go with something like, let's say you're into pets, maybe something more specific like a dog or something. You're into dogs, you just love dogs, you love everything that dogs can do. But your dog does something that's weird. Maybe you're like, why does my dog, sneeze? You can write What's your website about, Rose? But you can why does your dog sneeze? Okay. So you can write an article that talks about why does my dog sneeze? And maybe that there is this magical medicine that helps your dog stop sneezing, So you actually write an article that talks about the dog sneezing, what causes them to sneeze, the different things that can cause them to sneeze. At the end of the article or toward the middle of the article, wherever you feel like doing it, you'll say something to the effect of, by the way, if you want to check out this little item right here, this little medicine, it will help your dog stop sneezing. Click here to go see how much it is on Amazon, or click here to go read more about it. So what you would do is have another page on your website that talks about just that sneezing thing. Okay. Well, let's go. Okay. So you said it's about restless leg syndrome and natural treatments, which is a great niche, by the way. That's something that a lot of people deal with, and then looking for natural treatments of such. So let's just say you found some supplement that happened to work very well with helping this problem. CBD and COPD. Is it COPD or CBD? I'm not an expert, by the way, so I wouldn't even know. You're probably right on, or other special devices. But let's, for the sake of argument, let's say that there was a supplement that you like, that works, that you use to create the effect, or not really create the effect, but help people who have restless leg syndrome. That's true. People who have that typically are very desperate people, because it's uncomfortable. It's not fun. It's not something that people will want to have to deal with. So you're able to really tap into a very strong group of people there who are ready to take action, like right now. So anyway, let's take that restless leg syndrome and natural treatments for such. So as I mentioned, if you had like a supplement or something that you could use that costs like $50 on Amazon, what you would do on your website is you would write a nice detailed review of how that supplement works. And in the article, you would then point to Amazon. Excuse me. You would point to Amazon in your article saying, hey, by the way, go check out the latest prices on this supplement on Amazon. So then what you would then do is write other articles around that review, and then point all of those articles back to your review. So you would then think about other things within the restless leg syndrome natural treatment niche and create articles around it. That's called the silo effect. It's what you're kind of doing with your website when you do that kind of thing. So what would end up happening is, as you're writing articles about your restless leg syndrome, and then you're pointing them to your main review of the supplement, that review of the supplement, that's going to be your landing page. That's the page that people are landing on, and then you're trying to convince them to click through to Amazon or click through to whatever and buy whatever it is that you're trying to promote to them. So over time, when you're getting traffic to all of these different articles, and then you're sending them to your landing page, you can optimize that landing page to increase your conversions as much as possible. So let's just say you have a picture of the supplement on the right side of the page, and it's just there talking, and you're talking about the article, or you're talking about the supplement, and you notice that anytime someone lands on that page, 2% of them click through and go to Amazon. What you could do with the landing page hack that I just taught you a few minutes ago is take that picture and now move it over to the right side of the page, or move it to the bottom of the page, or maybe get rid of the picture altogether, or maybe change the picture or something like that. Through the use of split testing, you will be allowed to tell the split testing application that you're using, anytime people land on this page, you're going to present them the page with the picture. Then it's going to present them the page. Then the next person who comes through is going to present them the page without a picture. And it's going to keep doing that over and over again as many people are landing on that landing page. And what'll end up happening is it'll give you a conversion based on who's clicking through to Amazon. and you'll know for a fact which one people like the most. So if the one with a picture, every time 10 people go to it, 5 people click through to Amazon, but then the one without the picture, every time 10 people land on it, 1 goes to Amazon, then you can get rid of the one without the picture and keep the one with the picture. And then you can work on optimizing something else. Remember the always be testing. So find something else on the page. Maybe you can change the headline to something a little more wacky, or maybe something a little more pointed, trying to get that pain point to try to drive people to continue reading and then click on through your site. So you have a nice passive headline on one page and a nice aggressive headline on another page. And what do? You split test that page against more traffic just to see which one converts the best. So that's how you would use it basically with a blog. And you can do that with almost any page on a blog, by the way. The key to split testing, however, is you need traffic to test against. That's really the only catch with it. So if you have a website and you don't have any traffic coming to it right now, split testing probably won't give you much information. It's once you actually start getting consistent traffic to your website and people clicking through that you can now change it up and see exactly what converts the best versus what doesn't convert at all. And then you highly optimize your page so that to drive the maximum conversions to your website. Yeah, Rose. I know you said you've seen some supplements with magnesium. It's funny, my wife's actually taking magnesium right now because she was having some stomach issues. But yeah, it's that's just an example, to be honest. I just kind of grabbed supplements off the top of my head there, but that's one example of what you can do in order to make sure that you can maximize the amount of money that you're making with your site. But actually, that's a good niche that you're starting in. Like, if you ever need any help with it, just drop me a line, please, by all means. I don't mind helping out. How far have you gotten along with it, Rose? Or have you just purchased the domain? All right, we got a few more people who just jumped in. I want to thank everyone who's taken the time out to come over and learn a little bit about making money online through blogging. One of the things we were talking about earlier is the benefits of split testing. So if anyone has any questions about what split testing is, how it works, let me know. And we kind of already went over it, so now it's kind of just a live Q&A. So any questions you have about making money online and blogging, feel free to be sure to ask. All right, feels good today. How's everyone doing? It was a nice sunny day out here in the Northeast. It's supposed to be raining tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. When it comes to the with your site, Rose, are you already getting traffic with your site, or are you still kind of creating content, getting it going? Okay. I heard for the first time. I just bought it last week. Just this week, our heard of the first time about RLS. Gotcha. Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's a good niche to jump in. Definitely, I would jump into something that you're interested in. So, if you're interested in, restless leg syndrome and natural supplements to do it, the reason why I say that you want to be interested in it is because it's going to be tough because it's going to take you a few months to get some traffic, to get consistent, a lot of traffic to your site. So, any normal person who might be working on getting traffic to their site, who might be working to get traffic to their site, might give up after a few weeks when no traffic's coming to their site and they feel like that they're writing to a ghost town. And that's legit. It's true. That kind of thing happens, you know. However, you really just have to keep pushing, because if you're interested in your subject, you have a passion for your subject, you're trying to help people who are dealing with restless leg syndrome, then you're going to keep writing when any normal sane person would stop. You know, so stay with it, stick with it, enjoy it, learn all you can about it. Um, I am interested. You study pharmacy. That's great. If you're interested in it, I can tell you right now, I couldn't start a site on that because I would give up on it. I'd be like, I'm tired of this. But that's really good that you're interested in it. Learn all you can about it, like I was mentioning, and write a whole bunch of articles. Right now, I would say concentrate on writing a few reviews of products that you want to be able to promote and to sell, and then write like supplemental information, type response type post is what we call them. What a response post is what is restless leg syndrome? That would be an article you'd want to write. And those types of one of actually, you know what, as a thing here, I'm gonna show you one of my favorite places to go for. Let's see if I'm gonna try this here. I'm gonna try to share my screen. Let's see if this works. And let's share. Present to everyone. All right, so this right here is called Answer the Public. So go ahead and give it a try. It's called answerthepublic.com. Rose, this will probably be a really good resource for you here. And here at answerthepublic.com, you can literally type in anything. You can see I was looking up solar panels before, but I'm going to put in restless leg syndrome. I'm going to click get questions. So if you ever had an issue or a question as to what you can actually review and what you can talk about, you can bring this up in here. Look, restless leg syndrome, 123 questions. And these are a lot of good questions that you can ask. And then in your response posts, you can then link to the supplement that you're trying to promote, or link to whatever it is you're trying to get people to buy. So here's one right here. Is restless syndrome fibromyalgia? That's a good question. Is restless syndrome a peripheral neuropathy? And if you're looking towards the middle here, it says restless leg syndrome is your main keyword. And then you have restless syndrome, when, why, how, will, where, can, which. You could tell hundreds of article ideas that you could really put onto your site, and then have the traffic that these types of posts grab and then send to your main offer on your site. So as an example, down here, restless leg syndrome, and then what? And it says, what is restless leg syndrome? What helps restless leg syndrome at night? What causes restless leg syndrome in adults? These are just some great questions, to be honest. How restless syndrome is diagnosed, how restless leg syndrome works, and then that's just the what. If we can go to can over here, can restless leg syndrome be treated? Can it spread? Can it kill you? Can it cause numbness? Can it cause knee pain? These are all just individual articles that you could target. So go ahead and check out this resource, Rose. It's really a great one. Rose says, good idea. I already started with brainstorming. I'm looking for writers. English is not my first language. Oh, okay. So you're thinking about outsourcing? You stop presenting and stop. Oh, I think we're back. All right. So yeah, definitely. If you're looking to hire some writers, one thing about hiring writers is that you will need some money to pay the writers. So be prepared for that. Um, Depending on how much money you have, you can really invest in really good writers. For instance, you're talking about a medical subject here, so it might be great if you were to maybe try to find a doctor or something off of upwork.com. I don't know if you've heard of that website. It's called upwork.com. And you can find some really good writers there, some doctors who can really give you some good detailed information about how restless leg syndrome works. You just need to post an article, and I guarantee you, within an hour or two, you'll have 3 or 4 people jumping at your doorstep trying to write for you. Um, However, do not let not letting English or not having English being your first language to stop you from attempting to try to write the articles yourself. I know 2 or 3 examples of people who didn't really know English very well at all, and they've become successful English bloggers. Um, it's definitely a skill that you would want to cultivate anyway, because I believe like 75-80% of the internet is in English. So it would be very wise to learn how to blog in English. But if you don't have time for it, or if you don't have the patience for it, but you do have the money to kind of get started with it, then yeah, definitely go hire you some writers, pay a few $100, get 10 or 15 articles, and you'll have so that you can post onto your site. Hey, Mike, what's up, man? He said, I like that website. I think I've seen you talk about it before. Is there a charge for that? No, 100% free site. Um, Answer the public. I'll be sure to type it in here. Good to see you too, Mike. Just hitting this live stuff hard. I'm kind of testing right now, seeing what days seem to be the best at doing it. Um, but Answer the Public is 100% free. And actually, you know what? I didn't show you, but that was just the first part of it. Under it, they'll give you other prepositional keywords that you can use, and it's a whole bunch of stuff. Like that one page can give you literally a few hundred keyword ideas for your website. So go ahead and give them a try. Yeah, definitely, Rose. I would definitely check it out. I look at it this way. Uh, there's people out there, and Michael probably remember me saying this before, but there are people out there who are working really, really hard at their jobs. And I don't mean like sitting behind a desk and typing stuff up. Not to say that that isn't a hard job either, but I mean, people are out there working in the sun, pushing stuff, picking up stuff, building stuff. Those are real people out there who are working really hard, and a lot of them are doing it for a very small amount of money. So uh, it's tough, it really is. So when it comes to maybe learning how to blog in English, and you think about it in the proper perspective, at least you're moving towards something that can maybe give you a job behind a computer, give you a business behind a computer, where you don't have to worry about killing yourself outside like others are really doing over time. Let's see. Next thing, Mike Asbury. What's going on, Mike? Do you have any recommendations for finding freelance blog writers? Yes, definitely check out upwork.com and fiverr.com. Uh, you know what? I take that back. Upwork.com is probably your best bet. You can find article writers really, really fast with Upwork. There are some other options out there like Text Broker and a few others out there. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily go with those because you normally have to pay quite a bit of money for those. But I would definitely get out of there. But with the actually, give me just a second here. right, that totally was not about affiliate marketing, so get rid of that. Anyways, what we're talking about here when it comes to outsourcing, Mike, Upwork is probably one of the best places to go to get Upwork taken care of. Hey, Lila, we're not necessarily talking about that right now, man. So we're just gonna go ahead and move on. Upwork.com is the best place to do it. I actually have some templates that you can use. I would definitely go check out a guy named Doug Cunnington. Uh, Go check out his channel. If you go to his website called nichesiteproject.com, he will actually give you like some templates for 100% free that he uses to hire new writers. And it really breaks down everything that people will want, whether or not it's like a native writer, a native English speaker. Um, it talks about how much you think you should pay each one of these writers for. Uh, you can normally get a good writer, excuse me, to write 1,000-word article, probably in the neighborhood between $15 and $20 an article. And if you know what you're doing and you've been doing it for a while, you know what kind of articles are going to end up making you money in the long run. And normally $15 to $20 is so much better than the maybe the 2 hours it might take you to write the article and make it get nice and well. All right, Shane's in the building. He says, "Is having a computer protection necessary when online marketing?" Rephrase that question, Shane. I don't necessarily understand it. What do you mean having a computer protection? All right, sorry about this, guys. Just all right. So Rose is saying, I have already posted a job on Upwork and I watched Doe too. Oh, well, good. Yeah, Doug's good. When it comes to posting those jobs on Upwork, just be very specific and haggle. You know, someone might say, "Oh yeah, they charge $50 an article," but you'll say, "Well, how?" I always try to get them to give the number first. You know, it's like the first rule of negotiation is never be the first one to come up with a number. And when they say, "Yo, how much do you charge for an article?" "Oh, I do one article for $40." I was like, "Oh, well, my budget was kind of around 15 to 20." "Oh, I can do that too." That's happened a million times when you're doing the negotiations. And Upwork does a good job with being able to put the money in escrow. So like Upwork holds the money until the work is done, and then once the work is done, you can release it if you're happy. If you want them to do any revisions or anything like that, and you can test them out. One thing that Doug does, which is really, really smart, is that he specifically targets like graduate students, people who write a ton anyway, but are looking for ways just to make some quick money by putting together an article and make 15, $20. So that's what they put together articles all day long anyway for their schooling. So if on the side, if they're doing a few articles, they normally do very good articles and they do them for cheap. So try to like target out those kinds of people. Oh, when you said computer protection, Shane, you meant actually like virus protection. um, I mean, you would always want to have some type of virus protection on your computer. So I would definitely recommend getting something, not just flying solo, unless you get a Mac. And even then, a Mac would still want to have something. But for the most part, if you had a Mac, you probably wouldn't have to worry about too many viruses, as long as you're staying away from those shady sites, if you know what I mean. All right, I'm looking to buy a Norton plan. Yeah, just check your budget, Shane, and make sure that you get something that is that's going to be worth your money and give you what you're looking for. I think my parents use Norton, so definitely go for it. Mike Ansbury says, "I'm loving what WA has to offer and has helped me with already." Yeah, Mike. I mean, what WA puts together is it's one of a kind. especially for the price. That's what really separates it from anything. Um, we were talking about Doug earlier. Doug has his niche site project, or his five figure website, or five-figure niche site, I think is what he calls it. And I think he charges a couple $100 for it. The people over at Income School, they charge 300-400 bucks for their stuff. I think Dan Brock, he has a few things that he charges, and after you get the upsells and everything, you would have spent a few $100. Yet when you go to Wealthy Affiliate, they'll give you everything that you want for only $19. That's kind of freaky that they can get away with that, but they do, which is why I think Wealthy Affiliate has a lot of haters, is because they're giving away really, really good, really good information that teaches you how to build a website and make money from it. And a lot of people are doing it and being successful with it, and they give it away for $19 for the first month. It's kind of insanity. Oh yeah, AWOL is another one. Now, to AWOL's credit, they work, but by the time you put in close to the $15,000 or $16,000 to get started, and really they're only going to teach you how to promote AWOL to other people. That's really what they want you to do, because once you learn the craft, it's stupid not to promote AWOL because of how much money the affiliate gets per sale. So Michael, if you had gone into AWOL, whoever refers you to AWOL, and let's just say you went through and bought the whole $16,000 worth of stuff, that affiliate was probably going to make $8,000 to $10,000 of what you spent. So I mean, it's harder to get in that way. And with that amount of money on the line for something that other places is giving away for free, or other places are giving away for less than $20, there's no comparison. I think it's dishonest a little bit. The one thing I disagree with AWOL is I believe their marketing practices are a little dishonest, but that's just me. Yeah, promote what you want. The Wealthy Affiliate is definitely going to teach you how to fish versus just giving you a fish. You'll be able to take the tactics and be introduced to a world that most people do not even know exists, and that's what you want. And now you can turn around and go with it. Like, after you've learned everything that Wealthy Affiliate has to offer, W could go away next week, but you still have the knowledge, and that's what you really want. Hey Rose. Okay, yeah. Tips for choosing good writers. That is one of those. Oh, did I skip something? I'm sorry. You send invite to who are in the medical field. Yeah, when you send stuff to people who are in the medical field, one of the filters that you can put in at Upwork will allow you to filter out people who are active within the last month, or active within the last 2 weeks. So sometimes you can invite somebody, but they haven't been on Upwork in 6 months. Who's to say that you sending them an invite is going to bring them back to Upwork? That's kind of the downside of freelancing, is the fact that people come and go really, really fast. So you're always looking for new, better writers. You're always looking for writers who are still going to stick around. Typically, when I find me a good writer, I run them into the ground. I have one person, I sent her, I think, 30 or 40 articles, because I did a test article with her, and she wrote like 2 or 3 test articles for me, and she did a really good job. So the next week, I had gotten paid from another affiliate gig, and I took most of that money and just gave it right to her, and had her write me another 30 or so articles. And it took her a few weeks, but she punched them out, and they were all excellent. She did an excellent job. So I'm going to keep using her until she decides to go away. Let's see. I'm looking to buy. I'm sorry. So tips for choosing good writers. When you want to find good writers, unfortunately, you can go by their history, but using the suggestion we talked about earlier about getting college students to write your stuff, they might not always have a decent history. So what you might end up doing is having them do 2 test articles, and just to see how well they write. You would hate to give someone some really important content on your site and they suck at writing, So I would definitely, schedule into your budget some money to buy testing articles. Sometimes you're gonna buy a couple of articles and they're gonna suck. They are. Um, that yeah, they're not gonna be good. Send them back for revisions. Tell them what they need to fix, and if they are able to adjust and then fix it, and then everything's great, then you've gained someone. You've gained a writer. Part of the whole freelancing business is really, especially on that initial interaction with your new writers, is they're trying to fill you out. You're trying to fill them out. You're trying to figure out exactly how much effort they're going to put into these articles, and that's what you need to find out. So, unfortunately, as a webmaster, as a blogger who's trying to outsource, you're going to have to spend some money just to see if they're good or not. So I would definitely take advantage of that. And then if they're good, play it by ear. Send them maybe 4 or 5 more articles. See how well they do. And if they get to the point to where they have your complete trust, send them 20 and have them punch them all out. When I first started blogging, I blogged a lot. Now I don't blog as much because I'm trying to concentrate more on YouTube. But what I'm doing is I'm still keeping stuff up to date. So instead of blogging 3 to 5 times a week, now I blog maybe 1 or 2 times a week. And then right now I've just been punching out YouTube videos like crazy and starting this live thing. So freelancing definitely allows you the opportunity to concentrate on other things in your business. But it does take seed money to do it. You can't just, if you don't have the money to blow, it's much better to write the articles yourself. All right, so got 40 minutes here. I appreciate everyone who's been sticking around. I know Rose has been here since the beginning. Thank you so much, Rose. I'll go ahead and go over. Let's see what Michael was saying. I am writing a novel. This is my second one not published. Article writing is a whole new thing, but at least I have practice with writing. Yes, that's actually a very good thing to have. At least know how to write, so you know how to be descriptive. You know how to convey a thought through the written page. That's all great skills to have in this business. One thing that I definitely would recommend is if you're writing novels, you can build a website promoting your own book. Nowadays you don't have to get a huge publisher to okay your book and try to get it on a #1 bestseller or whatever it is. You can actually put it on Amazon yourself. And if you sell it for, however much you think your book is worth, but I'm just saying $15-20. And you create a website that talks about whatever it is in your book, and you say, hey, by the way, check out this book. Go buy it. You can promote your own stuff with this. That's really how you start making some really big money too, is when you do your own stuff instead of doing the affiliate marketing angle, because you get to keep all of the profits. You don't have to split the profits with anybody. So anyway, we started this excuse me, we started this live stream talking about a secret sauce or a money-making tip that you can go into that really can change your income dramatically. Your income can really increase from, maybe if you have a website making $100 a day, implementing this secret sauce can make your website make $1,000 a day. Some of you who might be on my email list may have already heard of a plugin. It's called Thrive Optimize. That's the one that I use particularly for doing my A/B and split testing. But that's the tool. That's the secret sauce that can really change how much money you make on your website. So let me give you a quick example as to what split testing is and how split testing works, how A/B testing works. And I try to make it a little more practical so that you can kind of see it on an everyday scale. So most of my audience from my analytics shows that it's mostly guys. It's mostly guys between the age of 18, no, between the ages of 24 and 44, I think, is my biggest demographic. So, just for the sake of argument, let's just target you guys. So we're talking here about maybe going to the club or going to a bar to go meet some people, and you're trying to see exactly how well that's going to work. So you might one day you're gonna have a yellow button-down shirt. You know, you're nice and fresh. You got the breath smelling good. You go out and absolutely nobody talks to you. Maybe you talk to a few people and they're just like, "Oh, I'm not interested," and they walk away. And you go home thinking that, man, that was just a bad night. You know, it's just a bad night. So you don't give up. The next day, you go ahead and you wear a red button-down shirt, and you're like, okay, you're feeling good, you're feeling great. You go back out there, and all of a sudden, everyone is talking to you. Every single person, every single lady is walking up to you, introducing themselves, and you're just feeling good. Like, wow, tonight's the night. You're getting phone numbers, you're getting connections, you're having good conversation. Everything is great that night. So the third night, you go back out there, but this time you wear a green shirt, and maybe you get a few people talking to you. Maybe you get less than half of the people who talked to you the night before. But it wasn't as bad as that first night with the yellow shirt. Now, I mean, that fourth night, when you go out, what color shirt are you going to wear? Of course, you're going to wear the red shirt. Why are you wearing the red shirt? You're wearing the red shirt because that was the shirt that had the most success. That is what split testing does for your website. You have a landing page, and your landing page is going to have one little, have a headline, have a picture, and then it's a nice pitch for trying to sell an item online. So then you have another landing page, but there's a slight difference. Maybe the headline is a little different. Maybe the picture is different. It's a different type of picture. It's a different person in the picture. So how do you know which one of these pages are going to do the best? Easy. You split test them. You see which ones are going to convert the best, who are going to convert your visitors into customers. And you can use a plugin, or you can use what's called a link rotator to send traffic that comes into that link to one page versus another. You can set it to split the traffic evenly. So 50% of the traffic goes to this site and 50% of the traffic goes to this landing page. And then you can actually measure which one converts the best. Which one converts the best? Excuse me, I had to cough. But which one converts the best? So if this one is grabbing people's email addresses at, a 50% clip. So every 100 people who land on this page, 50% of them give you their email address. That's very, very good. This page right here, every 100 people that hit it, only 20% of people give you their email address. That right there is a pretty big disparity. So you might not use this page anymore. You're going to stick with this page because it's converting at 50%. So now you bring this page over, and maybe you change the picture. Maybe the picture is of a man, whatever, doing whatever your niche is. We were talking with Rose earlier about restless leg syndrome. So maybe it's, a man grabbing his legs. That's the picture you have there. Maybe you create a identical landing page, but this time you change the picture to a woman holding her legs. Now you split test those. You see which one converts the best. This one might convert at 50%. It keeps converting at 50, but then this one converts at 55%. All of a sudden, you might need to get rid of the man and stick with the woman, and that's kind of what you can use to split test your landing pages on your site. How you can integrate this with blogging is on your site, you're going to have what's called your main review page, or like a pillar page, or what some people will call a money page. This is the page where most of your traffic is probably going to be funneled from your website. We were looking at the example of Answer the Public earlier with all of those different examples of blog post ideas that we could use. You could take all of those blog post ideas and have them point to your money page, your review page, your pillar page, whatever you want to call it. And because you have all of these articles that are pointing to this one article, you can optimize this page for maximum conversions. And that's what split testing does. You can literally, if you're not split testing, you are leaving a ton of money on the table. So don't underestimate the power of it. The only caveat to split testing is the fact that you need traffic to your site. If you don't have traffic to your site, split testing does you no good because you can't make effective decisions without having real live bullets flying, if you know what I mean. So if you're starting a brand new blog, you might want to wait on it for a few months until you start seeing consistent traffic to your site. And even if you did have a little bit of traffic, you might want to wait a while. Or your testing might take longer. Like my site might be able to test up to 100 conversions and see which landing page is the best within a day or two, where yours, you may not get the same amount of traffic that I get because my blog just happens to be older. You might not get the same amount of traffic that I get, so it might take you a whole month to test that same page. So traffic is the qualifying factor that you kind of need in order to make sure it works correctly. But once you get to that point, start testing as soon as you can, and you can really maximize the amount of money that you can make. So we're coming up on about an hour, and I want to thank everybody again for what they've been able to do to hang out with me. Are there any more questions regarding making money online through the use of blogging, or any questions about split testing that we kind of just went over? Feel free to ask now. I want to thank everybody who has taken the time to sit out and hang out with me for this last 50 or so minutes. Had no idea people like to hear me talk that much. But I mean, I really love this stuff. If you can't tell, I'm totally passionate about it. I remember, Rose, I was telling you earlier about having passion for it. Yeah, when times get tough, I still love it. I'm talking to it with everybody, or talking about it to everybody. It's fun. I enjoy looking at the statistics. I enjoy maximizing the amount of sales that I get. But what I really enjoy is like lighting up someone else's world when they realize that there is a whole world of money that can be made online. That's probably the best part. All right. So if the questions are done, I want to thank everyone for their time. If you don't mind, if you haven't already, please like the video. That would be really, really helpful. I don't necessarily leave the live streams up too long. I'm still in the process of testing that, to seeing which ones work the best, if leaving them up for a week or leaving them up for just a day or two. But typically, if the traffic stops on these things, I normally just stop it. Anyway, thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time, Shane, Mike, Rose, Michael. If you guys are still in here, I do appreciate it. I will catch you guys on the next stream. Adios.